Hey everyone, thanks for checking out my video. Today I'm going to show you some tips and techniques that you can do if you're working with a patient or you are a patient that's in either a long-term care facility, maybe even home health, or a situation where the patient's balance is compromised and they're not able to stand to perform their exercises. So a lot of times what we tend to use is one of these canes. You can use a TheraCane or a shoulder wand or just a walking cane. I've seen all sorts of things be used. And let's say it's my right shoulder that's affected and the patient looks kind of like this. You're trying to bring the arm overhead and you can't do it because of weakness or pain in this right shoulder, and so if I tried to raise it up it kind of looks like this, and so they're not able to raise it overhead, whether that's an arthritic issue or just impingement or pain or whatever that diagnosis is. And not saying that's a bad exercise, but a lot of times there are different ways that we can do things to try to improve this range of motion to make it, number one, less painful, and number two, more productive, faster. So I'm going to show you some techniques as far as range of motion and strengthening that you can do all from the seated position. So the first thing we're going to do is going to be shoulder range of motion. So I just put this table in front of me. We're going to say it's my right shoulder that's affected. So what you can have the patient do is just lean forwards, and as they lean forwards, we're improving the shoulder flexion or elevation. So if I were standing, my arm would be up here. So just lean forwards. Now, if the patient's not able to reach forwards on their own, they can take their other hand, put on top there, and kind of help push it forwards. You can use a towel or a washcloth or a pillowcase on top of a table to try to assist with this. Now, it doesn't have to be one of these portable tables. It can be just, the kitchen table or just whatever, countertop, anywhere that you're safe where you can sit down to perform this, because remember, you probably have some balance issues. That's kind of what this video is geared towards, or patients that have limited standing ability. So I repeat this for 2 to 3 sets of 10 to 20 repetitions several times a day. Now we're going to use one of these exercise bands and work on external rotation. So what I like to have my patients do is bring both elbows in tight, and you're going to pull this band apart. My palms are facing upwards, and I'm going to pull this band apart, really squeezing my shoulder blades together and pulling that out. A lot of times patients will try to they'll pull it apart like this, and you can kind of see my elbows straighten. So you want to make sure that they have their elbows in nice and tight by their side, and they pull this apart. 2 to 3 sets, 10 to 12 repetitions. Now we're going to work on internal rotations. This is difficult to do if you don't have someone that can hold the other end of the band. So I have one part of the band under my foot, and I'm holding the other end here. So I'm going to put this on the outside of my thigh and then push out into the band. So I'm pushing out like in a hip external rotation here, keeping my elbow tucked in, and then I'm going to bring my hand in just like this. So I'm using my leg to create a little bit of force and pull to my right side, and I'm just going to complete 2 to 3 sets, 10 to 12 repetitions. Now we're going to work on shoulder scaption. So I have the band under both of my feet. I'm going to bring my arms out a little bit and come back down. So this is not straight in the front. This is not out to the side. It's kind of half and half, almost like if someone was going to say that the field goal kick was good, you're going to raise your arms in that direction. So I'm going to complete 2 to 3 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions. Now with that band still under my feet, we're going to work on bicep curls. So I'm just bending my elbows or flexing my elbows up. I complete 2 to 3 sets, 10 to 12 repetitions, because we know that the long head bicep tendon travels across the top of the humeral head, and that can have some assistance with not only raising the arm up, but also some suggestion with helping to decompress the humeral head for more functional and adequate movement. The last movement we're going to do is going to be retraction. So I have the band under both of my feet. I'm going to kind of lean back, and I'm going to pull the band back like I'm rowing here, squeezing my shoulder blades together. And I would complete somewhere between 2 to 3 sets, 10 to 12 repetitions. I hope that this video helps to improve your pain and range of motion with your shoulder that can all be done from the seated position. Thanks for watching.